Prosecutors in the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell have rested their case after 10 days and more than 20 witnesses. Maxwell is accused of recruiting and grooming teenage girls to be abused by her former partner and late financier, Jeffrey Epstein. Maxwell denies all charges. The trial will continue on Thursday.
This was the week the jury gained an arresting insight into Ghislaine Maxwell's life for over 2 decades, which the prosecution say was intertwined with Jeffrey Epstein's. There were trips around the world, luxury homes, and then the downfall. A woman described by one accuser as sophisticated, elegant, everything I wanted to be. Ghislaine Maxwell, now in court charged with sex trafficking. On Monday, the jury heard from a British woman testifying under the pseudonym Kate. She met Ghislaine Maxwell aged 17, at a time in her life, she says, when she was particularly lonely. She claims that Ms Maxwell then paved the way for her to be abused by Jeffrey Epstein. Kate described meeting Ms Maxwell. "I felt that I had found a new connection that could be really meaningful to me," she said. "I was really happy that we had connected, and she seemed as excited as I was to have a new friend." She says Ms Maxwell later encouraged her to give Epstein a massage, which led to a sex act. When asked why she went along with it, Kate said Ms Maxwell seemed to know everyone. "She told me she was friends with Prince Andrew, friends with Donald Trump." Defender Bobby Sternheim argued that Kate was testifying on behalf of the government in hope of getting a visa to live in the US. Kate has been awarded millions of dollars in compensation from the Epstein Victims Fund. Now, $3.25 million is a lot of money, but it cannot buy you a visa, Ms Sternheim told the jury. Maybe her testimony will. You will evaluate that. For a second consecutive week, Ms Maxwell's siblings, Kevin and Isabel, held an impromptu press conference on Monday evening. They say their sister is being mistreated while on trial.
In 2021, what on earth are they doing shackling a 59-year-old woman in this way every day when she represents absolutely no threat to the community? That was agreed by the judge and by the prosecution.
Kevin, has Ghislaine raised this herself? Is she able to raise this with the judge, or...?
No, I mean, I can't speak about that, but basically she has asked us to raise these, and we're happy to do that on her behalf.
On Tuesday, the jury was handed intimate photographs of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell together. Judging by their changing appearances, they seem to have been taken over a period of years. The prosecution says they show not only romantic partners, but partners in crime. They appear on some of the photos like any other loving couple, documenting a life of luxury lived together. A ski trip, a tight embrace, a foot rub on a plane, even a visit, it seems, to the Queen's Balmoral estate, pictured in the same spot where Her Majesty has been photographed. These pictures were found on CDs and hard drives, seized during a police raid of Epstein's New York mansion, stored inside wardrobes and a safe. The court was also shown this advert, apparently created by Maxwell, calling for a massage therapist. Much of Epstein's abuse centred around massagers. The third accuser on the stand was a woman testifying under only her first name. Carolyn wiped tears from her face as she told the court that Jeffrey Epstein started abusing her aged 14, beginning with massages at his Palm Beach mansion. She also said Ms Maxwell had inspected her naked body. Carolyn said she felt my boobs, buttocks and hips and said, "You have a great body for Mr Epstein and his friends." Carolyn told the court she gave Epstein over 100 massages, all of which would end in sexual contact. She also claims she told Ms Maxwell about her dysfunctional family life. "I told her my mum was an alcoholic," said Carolyn. "I remember telling her my grandfather molested and raped me from the age of 4. The prosecution hoped they'd saved their most compelling and consistent witness for last. And so on Friday, they called Annie Farmer. She was the fourth and final accuser to testify in this trial and the only one to waive her anonymity. Ms Farmer said she took a trip to Epstein's New Mexico ranch, hoping he might be able to support her going to university. It was there she met Ghislaine Maxwell. She told the court abuse by Ms Maxwell began with a massage. Ms Farmer said she pulled the sheet down and exposed my breasts and started rubbing my chest and upper breasts. The door to the room was open. I had this sense he could see me. On another occasion, Annie says Epstein crawled into bed with her. I remember being in bed in the morning and Epstein suddenly opening my door and bounding into the room in a playful way and saying he wanted a cuddle, she said. He climbed into bed and pressed his body against me. With Annie Farmer's story, the prosecution rested its case. They hope they've done enough to show the jury that there are two abusers in the picture. When court returns at the end of next week, it will be the defence's turn to argue that Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial for Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. Martha Kellner, Sky News, New York.